We have hit the screen, which means welcome back to the Casual Chaos Podcast, the sports wagering community. I'm your host, Jay Ash, joined as always by Jeff and Bubba. What's up, fellas?
How you doing, Jay?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. And Bubba, how about yourself?
Cheers, fellas. Doing great. Everybody good?
Salud.
Fantastic. Bubba, what's the vintage?
This is a 2018 Paso Robles.
Oh,
Wow.
That's a good region. What's the name on the bottle?
I don't have it in front of me, but I was at Fresh Market. It was listed at $65, and then there was discounted down to $49. So,
well, if you're watching the pod, just everybody marvel at the wrist action and watch the way that swirls. Legs for days. It's a whole new meaning when it comes to Bubba drinking wine. You can see the socials at the bottom of the screen at Casual Chaos Live. Follow us on all those socials, Twitter, are now known as X, Instagram, Facebook, the Discord, because we're famous, 25 podcasts under the belt. That gives you a Discord. It's an automatic birthright at that point in time. It's 8:27. We are watching the Packers and the
Love just underthrew what would have been a touchdown on fourth down. So
yeah. I'm gonna be politically incorrect. We're watching the Packers v Redskins right now on Amazon Prime, but we're ready to pod. So you guys know why we're here. 25 episodes under our belt. We did our first live broadcast last week for the Lions game, Lions and Packers, if you will. Just a tremendous success, like an amazing jolt of electricity into the ecosystem. Zero issues, like absolutely none. Perfect stream, perfect broadcast. Nothing went wrong for at least 4 minutes. So we really had a great time, though. All kidding aside, some technical hiccups here and there. Hey, it's week one. What are you going to do? But overall, we had a great response. We had a great turnout. We've got a lot we're going to bring to the table this week. We're going to keep getting better every week because we're going to be doing it every week. So join us live. You can follow us on Twitch and YouTube. If you're already following the channel, all you have to do is show up on game day and go to our live stream on Twitch. It's at Casual Chaos at Twitch. You see this theme with everything we're doing. Before we jump into the pod, guys, what were your thoughts on the live broadcast? What'd you think?
I had a lot of fun, and like you said, it was humbling that so many people actually did join us on day one. So looking forward to this Sunday.
Yeah, a lot of support. I mean, obviously, Jay, you hit it on the head. Like a lot of work to be done, but I mean, really good starting point for us, and I'm super pumped about the 4:25 kickoff of the Chiefs-Eagles game, which is going to be our second week doing it. That's going to be awesome. Great game. A lot of fun stuff to bet on. So be very exciting.
Not a must-win game for Kansas City, but they'll put themselves in a hole if they lose. So
and they don't want to lose at home to the Eagles. I mean, that's a bad loss in my opinion. So it's going to be a fun one.
Yep.
No, it's going to be a kick-ass matchup. We're going to be live. We're going to have a lot more fan interaction this week. We're going to have people on location at various establishments. So we're really looking forward to it. But as Jeff and Bubba pointed out, we want to thank everybody who joined. And if for some reason your Venmo didn't hit us back up, we'll send you the funds for joining. So with that, that shameless plug as always, let's get this pod started. We're excited. Obviously we're watching the Thursday night game. We got a lot of football to talk about, but let's jump into talking tickets right now. Producer Tyler, go.
What is going on, guys? We got a bunch of bets.
Let me interrupt you real quick. So I'm probably the only person here paying attention to the Yankees game. Judge hit 2 homers in his first 2 at bats, and guess what happened in his third at bat?
He got hit.
A home run.
They hit him, the cocksuckers.
Yeah, I was gonna say they hit him. Yeah, that's old school baseball, baby. You get 2 dingers, you're getting one in the ribs.
Who are they playing?
Detroit.
Oh, it's a good.
Very cool. Yeah, it's a great game.
Playoff matchup potentially.
Yeah, possibly. Yep.
And one more speed bump before we get into talking tickets. I tried to mention this on the first recording, but unbelievable uniforms tonight from the Packers. Very, very sweet. Absolutely. I think these are their best unis.
You're a fan of white.
Tyler might not.
I just love the yellow stripe down the pants. I mean, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of less is more.
Yeah. I just like the classic uniform. Just give me the classic Green Bay.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of less is more, less interrupting of producer Tyler and more talking tickets.
Let's go.
Unbelievable. Let's jump right into it. We got a bunch of bets that you guys sent in over the weekend, so we appreciate it. Football's back, so we're rocking and rolling with it. So we got Schmidt. He had the Browns +5 and the Seahawks +2.5. Both got the job done. The Seahawks got a loss there, and the Browns got the job done, keeping it tight with the Bengals. Probably should have won that game outright, to be fair to Schmidt. So kind of unfortunate that they didn't win. I mean, he had him +5. He had the right idea. The Seahawks did end up bad beat kind of for the 49ers. Jay, I think you were on that game as well. And
I was.
49ers caught a ball in the corner of the end zone late.
Jump ball to the shortest guy on the field. Defender standing there like he was in cement drying, and then Sam Darnold comes through with the open hand, no football, game over.
Yeah, bad
Exciting.
One there.
Yeah,
tough one there, but in the end, still he pretty much broke out even between those two, and then we also had Schmidt on this one threw 500 on Kyler to have over 25.5 rushing yards. I feel like you could almost pencil that in every week, and it pretty much hit. And that one hit as well for Kyler there. So good job, Schmidt, getting on the board with some W's early this season. And then we go over to Rain Man. Rain Man had a couple winners here. He had Aaron Jones to score a touchdown. Caught a nice ball over the top for, I believe that was the second touchdown of the game for J.J. McCarthy. And the other one went to Justin Jefferson. So he was riding the Minnesota boys and J.J. McCarthy throwing some touchdowns. So Justin Jefferson and Aaron Jones both catching the ball for him. So he netted out a nice little, I'm going to get 40 there and 140. So 180, almost $200 wins there for Rain Man on the Vikings. Did you guys have either of those?
I did not. I was on the Bears that night, so it wasn't good for me.
Yep, that happens. We got One Buck Ant, who we might be hearing a little bit from here shortly as well. But One Buck Ant had a couple winners. He was riding the Bucks. They pulled it out in the end. I'm sure he was sweating it a little bit, but he had this little parlay here with Emeka Ibuka, who looks like the real deal, having over 50 yards receiving, and then also Baker Mayfield throwing 2 or more touchdowns. So that was a $20 win. Doubled his money up right there.
Rookie of the year, lock it in.
Yeah, it's a great start for him. He was obviously One Buck Ant, a Buccaneer fan. He was taking Mbuka to score an anytime touchdown. Easy money there. Probably wishes he put more on it at this point. So we had the 2 winners there from One Buck Ant.
There you go.
Then we had La Flama Mama. First-time gambler was joining us on the live stream the other day. We want to shout her out. She went up and just dominated. I don't know if it's beginner's luck or ChatGPT really just knows what they're doing, but she hit like 3 or 4 of her first bets ever. So yeah, Tucker Kraft at plus 1,000 for the first touchdown in the Lions-Packers game comes through. $3 pays out $33, so ends up making 10 times her money there, which is awesome. Had a couple more winners as well, but
if only her unit size was like her husband's, they would be very happy.
Yeah, wouldn't we all? Shout out USF Bulls. USF Bulls had a huge upset over Florida. You had TJ right here had $10 on the Bulls to win outright money line. So $10 paid him $70. And then we also had a new member to the Casual Chaos crew.
Was that an in-game bet?
I think that was in-game. I think that was in-game. Yeah. And then we also had JP. JP here was his first time betting with us at Casual Chaos, and apparently he just was heavy on the Bulls, clearly. So he bet the $25 to win 118 during the game. I believe he did that one during the fourth quarter. He sent that one in, but he also had pregame. He had USF plus 17.5, which was the original opening line. He had USF plus 7.5, and then he had the under. The under looked good from pretty much Jump Street. and USF was in that game the whole time, so he pretty much never really sweat that one. So great win there for JP. Made out like a bandit on the USF Bulls. Got another big one this week. We may get to it later on. And then our last big winner of the day, and this one's fun, guys. You guys are probably going to want to talk about this one just a little bit. We had BK. Maybe finding the most fun thing that you can bet on the Hard Rock app, our friends at the Hard Rock. He had the Mariners -1.5 the other day, put 356 up, brought home 2,400. But he had the exact pitch outcome in the 11th inning on the second pitch of an at-bat. So talk about specifics there, but he had a strike or a foul, so talk about sweating a bet out for a couple seconds. Put up 577, ends up more than doubling in his money on that with a strike or a foul ball. Not sure exactly what hit there, but that's got to be stressful to have that bet on the line.
That's great.
Cojones.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, my Lord.
Do you bet that like before the inning starts? Is it during the at-bat?
Got to be during the at-bat.
I think during the at-bat, which is crazy. Like,
yeah, but you're locked in. The phone is literally part of your hand at that point in time. The scrolling fingers going crazy. You're obviously just selecting the one in the middle because you had too much to drink if you're in the 11th inning and you're betting that fucking play.
But that is awesome.
Unbelievable. I'm a huge fan of BK's. That's phenomenal.
That's fantastic.
Tucker
unfortunately, with all those great bets that you can place, we had one kind of a bad beat here for Turpy. Turpy was shouting, throwing some bets out on the Discord. Again, join us on the Discord. Throw out your bets. He had an 8-leg parlay. Talk about legs for days. An 8-leg parlay he put in the other day. And I'll try and read it real quick to you guys, but it was a doozy. He had Malik Neighbors over 50 plus yards receiving. That hit. He had the Commanders -2.5. That hit. He had the Bucks +3.5. That obviously hit with them winning. He had the Jaguars -1.5. They dominated. He had the Cardinals to win. That was a little closer than the Cardinals probably would have liked with the Saints. He had George Kittle over 5 receiving yards in the first quarter. That hit. And then he had the Broncos -2.5 against the Titans. That hit. The last one that he had, because all the ones up top were 1 o'clock games, his last game, which was Lions-Packers, which is what we were discussing on the live stream, was Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown. And that one lets him down. So he hit 7 of the 8. So he loses the $5 bet. It was only a $5 bet, but man, that had to have been, tough, especially with, Gibbs last year was just a touchdown machine. He probably thought this was done by the time he got to the 4 o'clock games. So tough one.
And I don't think Gibbs came even close to scoring.
No,
well, the Lions didn't look good.
Yeah, he let us all down in that game because I think we all had him one way or another in some parlays, and his numbers weren't great last week.
No, not very good. But guys, send in your bets. That was a bunch of the ones that we got the other day. We appreciate them. Please keep them coming. We'd love to talk about them and discuss them on here on the pod and live on the Casual Chaos Live show on Twitch or YouTube. Find us on there as well, guys.
Speaking of first quarter tight end yards, I had Tucker Kraft over 4.5 receiving yards in the first quarter. He has 73. I think that's good. I think we're okay.
I think that's good. Yeah.
He just had that big. He's not fast though. I'll say that because he had a big lead and they chased him down pretty easily. So they're down 2 receivers in this game already though. So
shoulders. I'm sure we're all kinds of delayed between the 4 of us here. So
anyway.
All right, talking tickets. A lot of winners, loving it. Big theme in talking tickets. If you're a first-time player on the Casual Chaos podcast or live show, it's almost a guaranteed win. So let's get this out to more people because winners live here. Transitioning, back by popular demand. We thought it was going to be a one and done, but the fan base reaction was unbelievable. So we had to bring back for our college football segment here, $1 and our official Casual Cast college correspondent. What's up, buddy?
Welcome back.
What's up, boys? How we doing?
Doing great.
You're feeling better about that NC State game right now, huh?
I feel a lot better. It's 14-14 now, right? Feeling better for sure. They were down 14 earlier, but we can say officially now, right, Jay? Long-time listener, second-time caller, right?
Absolutely.
Here we go. Beautiful, bro. Beautiful.
We're gonna trademark that. So
beautiful. Well, let's kick.
We're gonna let you cook. Go, brother.
Let me cook. I got something prepared for you guys today. So I'm happy to be here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, did I lose myself? Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back.
You're back.
Back? Am I back?
Yep.
Test.
Yeah, we got you.
All right, sweet. So weird week 2 in college football. There wasn't very many ranked matchups. I think one big story we have here is Illinois kicking ass over Duke. That was a close spread. Illinois ended up pulling it away. Maybe they are, a solidified top 10 team, Big Ten contender. We'll see as the season continues. But the story of the weekend, Tyler, do it with me, brother. We got those USF Bulls, baby, knocking off those Florida Gators. Are you kidding me, dude? We called that from last week, bro. We called that from last week. So that was my that was one of our picks last week. That was a winner. I had some losers last week. I'm only going to talk about winners. But that was one of the winners we had last week. I think it was 17.5 at some point. Got to 14, 12. It was all over the place. USF ends up winning that game on a walk-off field goal by Tampa's own Nico Gramatica. Byron Brown continues to get into this Heisman conversation. 23 of 36, 263, 1 touchdown, ran the ball over the field. We can talk about how terrible of a coach
Napier is.
No. Why is this game? The Gator coach. Yeah. He made Napier. Yeah. Billy Napier. He had a lot of questionable decisions coming down the stretch, not calling timeouts, letting Florida kind of run the clock out. Either way,
throwing the ball on first down with 2 minutes to go in the game.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. Exactly. Either way, USF bullied those boys. I was excited to see that. USF's back, boys. What do we think?
I love it.
Well,
got to be fired up for this weekend for sure.
They got a chance to be special here. Touchdown here. Who do we got? Sorry to interrupt.
Romeo Dobbs, if you got him, first touchdown scorer.
If you got him, throw him up.
Would have probably paid out pretty good there.
I had a tweet 3 weeks ago. I said if USF goes 3-0, they should be at least top 5 in the nation. If they beat Miami this weekend, they should be number 1. They should be number 1. I mean, legitimately,
they should be top 3. Top 3 for sure.
Top 3.
Top 3 for sure. Yeah.
They'll be the only team to have 3 ranked wins already. I mean,
right.
That's a guarantee.
Guarantee you they're not going to be top 3 if they win this week. But
100%, they're beating number 5 after beating 13. I mean, why would they not be?
It's a damn shame that they won't be, because if we all know if USF was wearing that crimson tide and they had the same resume, they'd be the number 1 team in the nation. We all know that for damn sure.
Right, 100%. But don't forget that these rankings don't mean shit anymore anyway. So it's
you go into the swamp, you win a game, you beat Boise State, you win the games in front of you convincingly.
Yeah, but they could also lose to fucking UCF. So it's just one of those things where
it's 2-0. You win the game.
I'm with you.
1-0 the week.
Yeah, well,
I like the Bulls. I like the Bulls, man. I think they're going to continue to roll. They are for sure the favorite Power 5 team to make the playoff.
And they're fun to watch too. They're just fun to watch.
Yeah, there's something to be said there. You can make an argument that it's time for the preseason polls to kind of go away.
I agree.
We're going to have this type of system.
I agree.
Let everybody play their way in, not play their way out, or be ranked too high.
I mean, again, the polls are meaningless anyway. I mean, until the committee comes out in a few weeks with their first ranking, I mean, none of this stuff matters.
Right.
But it does to a certain degree.
You guys can say these polls are meaningless, but doesn't it just tickle your ball hairs a little bit when you see 2 numbers facing each other off in the beginning of the season? That means everything. You know what I mean?
I haven't been a teenager for a long time. What are ball hairs?
the gray stuff that's between your legs.
Hang on, I hear
it.
Well, move on to the next game. I love USF. I like them. I like them this week too. I think the spread this week is 17.5. I'm not going to talk about that one, but I like them to cover that game. It's going to be a fun game to watch. I'll be tuning in for sure. It's one of the only ranked matchups we have this week.
What do we got?
But next game we got from last week, I'll recap real quick, is one of my best bets of last week. I got a little shit from Jay for picking them because it was against an ACC team. Baylor holds off SMU in double overtime. Sawyer Robertson looks like the real deal. He's becoming a fringe first-round draft pick before our eyes. He's one of those guys that I think we're going to be hearing his name called at Radio City in April. Kevin Jennings for SMU looked fine, 296, 3 touchdowns. The story of a big offenses. 601 total yards for Baylor. They look legit. I think they're the favorite to win the Big 12. I like the Big 12 top to bottom this year. I think it's going to be a fun conference. Baylor's fun to watch. Got a great coach. But yeah, double overtime win. Baylor wins. As a plus 150 money. I think at one point they were a 7-point dog. By game time, it got to like plus 2.5. Baylor wins that game convincingly. Jay, what do you got to say?
Well, I was on SMU, but I was on SMU for the reason I gave you shit last week. You were high on the ACC, as was I. And Baylor historically does not beat ranked teams, especially on the road. I don't think they beat a ranked team in the last 5-6 years. So it was a smart play. And I believe SMU was up 14 at one point and didn't choke the game away. So
They did. Yeah.
It took double overtime for sure. So no animosity here, man. Good win.
I still like the ACC. I think SMU just was a little overrated. I mean, there's a lot of times you see teams get that number next to their name for the season they had the year prior, and in the world that we live in these days with the the NIL and the transfer portal, it's nowhere close to the same team. You got the same quarterback, sure, but man, it's usually top to bottom different teams, and I think a lot of times you see like that high number next to the name. I think there's a few teams like that this year. We'll see fall off eventually. But Jeff, the next one I have another backdoor cover like a MFer.
Yep.
Syracuse versus UConn.
Yep.
Me and Bubba were sweating that one out all day.
I thought it was over.
I thought it was over.
I said Jeff was right. They're going to win outright.
we couldn't even watch it for whatever reason. The area that we were in didn't have them on the ACC network. They're on ACC Network Plus. We couldn't even watch it. We're just checking box scores at McDivitt's Tampa here. Shout out McDivitt's. It was, what was it? Syracuse at one point, I think it was 7.5, 6.5. I got it at 6.5. They were down. I think it was 14 to 3 or something. 3. It was. Maybe.
Well, they were down 10 with like 8 minutes left in the game, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Bad loss.
Yeah, because Ash and I did both throw money on UConn, and we were feeling pretty good there for a while. But yeah, congrats you guys. I mean,
pushed the number,
Jeff,
had him in a money line parlay. So
for 3.5 quarters, that's a lot.
I was like, Jeff called it. He says they're going to win outright as a dog, and they almost did. They're a strong team. They got a fun matchup this week too. I forget who it was against, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah, Steve Angeli looked okay, Jeff. I mean, 30 through 53, 417 yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick. He looked all right.
Yeah,
I'm happy as Notre Dame fans. You got to be a little happy for him because he always showed flashes of excellence at Notre Dame, and he's doing something at Syracuse.
Yep,
The one note I have in this game, I don't know if y'all saw that. I can't remember the name of the head coach for Syracuse, but he had these guys run wind sprints after the game. Did you guys see that?
Yeah,
I did see that.
That was horse shit, by the way.
Yeah, performative as hell. Whatever. Do what you need to do. Be a hard ass coach if you want to be. But man, you just want a close.
You want people
game.
to talk about it.
Yeah, right. You had it. I mean, if you want to do that, invite them back to the facility a few hours later.
If you want kids to take a 25% NIL discount to go somewhere else, that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah. In front of the home fans are running wind sprints after winning a single overtime game.
Who knows? Maybe they were standing on the sideline checking out chicks in the stands or something.
Yeah.
Like
again,
a lot miracle.
Again.
Well, quick note. Two quick notes before he shifts gears here. One is maybe pay attention to UConn against Delaware. That line might be a little low.
Yeah,
and
very low.
Too, Jeff, I don't think one Buck Gantz coming on the program and poking people in the chest might not get him invited back. Just saying.
I had to shove it a little bit. Both of them were games that I thought were losers. Were losers the whole entire way.
Yeah, I did too.
Good wins, absolutely.
Oh, they were losers the whole way. They came out being. Those are the ones you put your phone down. You wake up the next morning. How the hell did I win that bet? I'm gonna call myself an idiot here for a second. So last week I came on this podcast and I said we had 2 freshman quarterbacks that are going to be 1 and 2 in the NFL draft. They're going to be Heisman finalists. They both look like absolute dog shit last week.
Yeah,
we got JKS from Cal. He had a decent game against Texas Southern, but he almost choked that one away. And then Bryce Underwood, 9 for 24, 142 yards against Oklahoma. I mean, they just got manhandled. Michigan's one of those teams who had a number next to their name because of the performance they had last year. They're not going to be around for long. Bryce Underwood might still be the guy with these days, with the NIL transfer portal we have these days. someone's going to offer him a ton of money to go somewhere else, he might go ahead.
I see 2, maybe 3 more losses in their season this year.
Well, I mean, the coach is suspended now, right, for the next few games too.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I see 2, maybe 3 more losses. They're
That
gonna have
might
a 4-loss season.
the coach being suspended might be a positive for that team. I don't know how good that coach is. I don't know if you saw the guy who's replacing him. His name is Biff Poggi or something like that. He used to be the coach for Charlotte.
Psychopath.
Yeah, he wears a cutoff to his game. So I think we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I still have hope in both those guys. But man, I came out firing from the hip, saying both these guys might be in Radio City. Both these guys can be 1 and 2 in the draft, and it doesn't look like that anymore. So anyway, what you guys thoughts on last week? I can move on to week 3 if you guys are ready. But I want to hear you guys' thoughts and predictions for the future here.
I mean, like you said at the very beginning, it was an underwhelming week, So I didn't even watch a lot of college football, to be honest with you. So
unpredictable for me. That's all I get from it. It's fucking unpredictable. The only team that really the 2 teams that looked the same as they did week 1, if not better, USF and Florida State. Actually, those 2 teams that just handle what they have to handle.
Yep. What's in front of them exactly?
Yeah, playing high schools will help you out there. But
yeah.
My biggest takeaway is, and it's like note to self for next year especially, almost stay away from week 1 and 2 at this point, because you hit it with NIL, with transfers. You have no idea what's really going on. You got high expectations for freshman quarterback, new coaches, things along those lines. Let a couple games play out. The big lines like USF, something doesn't smell right there. That makes sense. But these 3-point spreads, 4-point spreads, and ranked teams, just let it happen, and then start making your calculated bets throughout the year after like week 4 or 5, when you actually can see the team with your eyes and make some adjustments in your gambling, so you can spot the odds and say, hey, that doesn't look right.
Yeah.
A big story in week 2 too we didn't talk about is Clemson struggling with Troy. They ended up winning that game, but that's a team that a lot of people, myself included, had pinned to be a national title contender. And man, we'll see what happens this weekend with them against Georgia Tech. But I mean, it's just like you said, you never know what's going to happen.
That was a VSiN play of the week on Troy. They threw out some good stats about Troy hasn't lost a game on the road by 30 plus in like a decade.
Wish I knew that.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting if Clemson ends up having a disappointing season. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Debo.
Yeah, we'll see. I think he's almost like Jesus Christ there, but who knows? Anyway, let's move on to week 3. So I got 3 picks for y'all, and I'm going to be quicker this time. I had a lot of picks last week, but first one I got here, it might be a little bit of a shocker to some people. We got Wisconsin plus 21 at Alabama. Okay. I think Bama is, they had a good week against Austin Peay. Ty Simpson had 17 for 17 at one point, whatever. He looked fine. People don't know what's going on with Wisconsin. They're a big 10 team on the road in the SEC. Usually don't fare well. 21 seems like a lot. I think Wisconsin will slow this thing down. The one point of this game we have here is their starting quarterback of Wisconsin went down like the first or second drive of week 1. Enter Danny O'Neal, who was fighting for that job the entire fall. He had a great game against MTSU, and he kind of unlocks their offense a little bit. He can throw the ball around. He's 23 for 27, 283 yards and 3 touchdowns against MTSU. Yeah, it's against a smaller opponent, but I think I really do think that Kalen DeBoer is on the hottest seat in America, and 21 points is just too much to cover. Curious what you guys think about that one. I just like the Badgers on this one a lot.
No, I like it. 21 seems like a lot. So.
Bama hasn't shown anything that they can cover that number. The defense obviously did not look great against Florida State. Austin Peay is, might as well be a D3 school at this point. So what are you going to ascertain from that game? So it's a big number. Play the big number.
Play the big number.
Yeah,
for sure.
Thinking the same thing.
Love it. Yeah, I just I'm gonna keep on fading Bama until they prove that they got something going against a legitimate team. I just think Kalen DeBoer his seat is too hot. He's going to be too nervous. He's going to make mistakes when it matters most. Next game I got here, sticking with the SEC. I got Ole Miss. It's down to 5.5. This line opened up at 9.5 at one point. It is down to 5.5 against Arkansas at home, at Ole Miss. I just think I'm forgetting the head coach's name right now again too. I'm forgetting his name. Ole Miss.
Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin. Every time he's in Ole Miss, I feel like they can unlock and just score 70 every damn time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
5.5 against Arkansas, who had a couple, they had a couple good wins against inferior opponents. People are high on the Razorbacks every year. You go into Oxford, Mississippi. I think they have something going on right now. I mean, Ole Miss averages right now 46.5 points a game. Arkansas might average 54, but they've played absolutely nobody. Simmons is having a great start to his career here at Ole Miss. Every time Kiffin gets his hands on some kind of talent at quarterback, he unlocks them. I think Simmons, at the end of the day, could be one of these top guys at quarterback. In the NFL draft. I like Ole Miss top to bottom. They got more talent. They got more NIL money. I like them to cover this 5.5 easy. I think they might win this game by 20. Curious, you guys' thoughts on that one?
I think the total's in play, 62.5. You just called out what the teams are averaging.
Right.
Ole Miss lost a ton of NFL talent to the draft last year on defense. So I don't see why they don't score points. I would take a look on game day what the individual team totals are and maybe lean towards an Ole Miss over. If it's in the, if it's under 30, hammer it. If it's in the, between that 30 and 33 window, take a strong look at it.
34.5 right now for Ole Miss.
Team
right
total?
Now. Team total.
Yeah. So half a unit.
What's that total at, Jay? I missed that one.
The total is what, Tyler, if you got it up front of you, 62?
61.5 is what it's down to right now.
Crazy. For a 5.5 point spread, 61.5.
Well,
it's already maybe 6.5, but yeah.
Yeah. It's 6.5 now?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's. I mean, they know these teams are going to score points. I like Ole Miss at home. They're a different team. Every time Ole Miss loses to some inferior opponent, it's on the road. You get them in Oxford, that place is going to be jumping. I like Ole Miss at home with Kiffin all day.
I like that.
Last pick I got lock of the week. It's going to be a little bit different, off the beaten path a little bit. I got University of Alabama Birmingham, led by Trent Dilfer, to cover the spread 11.5 against the Akron Zips. I'll tell you for one reason only.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you one reason only. Akron is 0-2 this year. How many points do you think they've scored so far this season? Akron, total.
0.
13.
Not a lot.
A
0.
big goose egg. They haven't scored 1 point against 2 opponents this year.
Wow.
So they're on brand?
They're
Zip?
on brand.
Yep.
Zip. There you go. I didn't even put that together. That's good. That's why we pay you the big bucks.
That's why I'm in the big chair, buddy.
That's great. Yeah, I like UAB a lot. I mean, Trent Dilfer's getting a lot of shit. He hasn't been able to coach this team well at all. I think it's his third season. They are scoring a lot, though. The defense might not be all that great. They haven't played too many tough opponents. They're 28th in the nation in offense this year. They're scoring a ton of points, 50% on third down. Akron's defense right now ranks 131st in all-purpose yards, 131st in scoring. They are dead last.
Wow.
My whole thing about this game is 11.5 is a bigger number for a bad team like UAB, but you're betting on UAB to win this game 12-0. I'm like, maybe Akron scores a touchdown here or there. UAB covers the spread easy. This is my lock of the week. I love this game. I don't know if you guys have anything on this one. I'll have one more stat here. UAB covered 6 of the last 8 September home games. I don't know if that means anything to you guys.
UAB's at home?
UAB's at home. And Akron hasn't covered a spread in their last 8 games.
Sounds like a fucking no-brainer. So I would bet.
I would bet
Akron.
You'd bet Akron? That's what happens, right?
Sounds like a no-brainer. I bet Akron. Yeah.
That's what happens. I love that
That's all great information. Honestly, I'm gonna hammer UAB.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't on my radar, but I like it. So yeah, good stuff.
And then I got one more game to shout out. I am an alumnus of the Catholic University of America. The Cardinals are on the road this weekend against Capital University in Columbus, Illinois. There's no spread, or Columbus, Ohio, excuse me. There's no spread for Division III games, but I like the Cards on the road, baby.
There you go.
I'll take the money line.
Would you set a line for that?
I'll just go straight up. We'll do a coin toss on it if you want to do it. Cards coming off a big win. Cards coming off a big win on the road against McDaniel, game-winning field goal, 10-7. Take their ass to Columbus, Ohio.
I heard you were a
Try to
guest.
beat
I heard you were a
Cowboys.
guest speaker at practice on Tuesday. So
I haven't been to Washington D.C. in 10 years.
So the just real quick, the two big games this week. You touched on one earlier, USF Miami, and then we also have Notre Dame Texas A&M. So looking forward to both of those. Texas A&M, SEC team. Notre Dame needs this win if they want to go to the playoffs. So that should be a real interesting game.
How do you feel about that one, Jeff?
Well, I'm going to stay away from it from a money perspective, but I do think Notre Dame will end up winning. I did like a lot of what I saw against Miami, even though they lost the game. But like you said when we were chatting earlier, I mean, the offensive line has to play better. There's no doubt about that. So we'll see what happens, but it'll be interesting. Mike Elko was a defensive coordinator for a year. Actually, Ash Elko was a DC at Hofstra for a few years.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, after my time, but he was there for a few years. So, but yeah, Elko was a DC at Notre Dame for a year. I think back in 2017. So he's coming back home, if you will. So should be a really good game. And like I said, if Notre Dame has any playoff aspirations, they got to win. They can't go 0-2. So
yeah.
Bubba's a big Elko guy too, so I know he's got the Aggies this week.
I'm on A&M. I think they're going to push them around, to be honest, but.
Sweet, guys. Appreciate it. I'm going to leave you guys with one last wild card pick before I leave. Always appreciate your hospitality here. It's awesome to be on the show. It's a privilege to be here. I'm also a UFC head. I got one pick this weekend, UFC Fight Night in Texas. We got Rafa Garcia +2 to 1 +205 against Flash Gordon this weekend. Rafa rolls. Appreciate it, fellas.
Awesome. I'll take it.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
See y'all later.
See you, brother.
All right.
That's good stuff right there, man. He comes with a lot of information.
He likes the zips.
We got to cross-check it, though. I don't know if I believe all those stats about UAB.
Well, Dilfer's actually a sneaky good coach.
He is, yeah.
And you got to, and I think a lot of people probably don't remember, but UAB discontinued their football program.
Yeah.
And I do know that Akron has not scored. I do know that.
Yeah. Well, they're catching 11.5. We'll see what happens. I might take a look at that. That sounds like a nice UConn -10 parlay with them. Just a little taste, a little something.
Yep.
So, all right, shifting gears, back to the three of us. NFL Week 1. A lot happened. It started off with a little bit of spitting. It got weird in Brazil with teammates, dislocating shoulders. And then it was kind of, it was just good to have football back, but there wasn't a lot of craziness, a lot of division battles and, some very short lines. So from a gambling perspective, there certainly wasn't any holy shit. And, if you're a survivor or an NFL, pick 5, pick 6, whatever, against the spread, there wasn't a ton of upsets. There wasn't a ton of shocking losses. It certainly wasn't like last year when the Pats took down the Bengals. So any takeaways from Week 1? Any thoughts or concerns, or kind of just good to have football back?
Outside of the Steelers, Jets, and Ravens, Bills, I mean, it certainly looked like the offenses were behind the defenses, right? Which we see a lot early in the season, mostly because they just don't play in the preseason games, Although, like Cincinnati, for example, they did play their players more this year than they ever had, and it didn't help. They Burrow threw like for 150 yards. I mean, so who knows? But hopefully things will pick up a little bit this week, and I think by next week we'll sort of be back to normal. But Bubba, how about you? Any takeaways?
Yeah, a couple things. I got 3 things on my list here. The Bucs played pretty bad. I mean, they didn't play very good at all. I think the Falcons had like 100 and maybe 200 yards of offense more than the Bucs, and the Bucs still found a way to win the game. So I to take note in that. And then also, I mean, the Bucs are a good team. They play hard. The Falcons play pretty good too. They could have won that game easily. So I just think those two teams are going to shock people. Y'all talk about that later. The Lions looked horrendous, and I'm going to read you a stat here on the Lions. Jared Goff has had 5 play callers in his career. Under the 3 not named Sean McVay and Ben Johnson, he is 0-19-1. That is an absurd statistic.
Well, look, it's only one game, but I was worried about that personally. So yeah.
Excuse me. Jeez.
Yeah. So they didn't look too good, and then I mean, I know it was Sunday night or maybe it was Monday night. I apologize. Bears let that game go. I mean that was like they had it in their pocket. They could have walked with a W, and they let the Vikings come back and beat them. So that was an atrocious loss for them, in my opinion.
Yeah. You all right over there, Ash?
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently the epiglottis didn't shift. I don't know what happened there. Trust me, that's just a little bit of ice seltzer, so it wasn't like it was gasoline. So I apologize for the outburst and the cough there. Or maybe it was Bubba thinking the Falcons are better than the Bucks. Maybe that was it. What triggered it. Bad loss for the Bears. At the same time, I saw Russillo point something out. You want to talk about, in the same ballpark of what you just said about Goff. They keep track of a stat called bad throws, basically, right? Bad throws based on the route, the situation, the timing, etc. And league average is somewhere in the 7 to 10, 7 to 12 range, can creep up to 15. Last year, Caleb led the league at 21%.
Yeah,
bad balls, and game one was 26%.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the Ben Johnson effect. And I'm not suggesting he's not an offensive genius, and I'm not suggesting that he won't be a good head coach. But we've seen this with the likes of Mike Martz and others that are, Chip Kelly. We've seen these guys who are offensive play callers and gurus, whether they lock themselves in the dungeon and just draw plays or they nerd out or whatever the case is, it doesn't always translate. The other issue here is Caleb just might not be the guy. And it's week one, and I'm not going to get crazy, but you have the guy that's supposed to turn it around. You led the league in bad balls, and you came out and increased your rate of bad balls. Not a good sign, right? So you go back to the pod a couple weeks ago. Bears fans, have your boy take the nail polish off. Let's see if we can throw the ball a little bit better. So I got a weird takeaway from week one, and it's kind of probably being a Cowboy fan, want to know what's going on in week two and what do we really see. I think people are a little excited about the Javonte Williams experience and completely forgetting the fact that the best defensive tackle or nose guard on the Eagles went out before he took a snap. So I wouldn't read too much into that. But in the same defensive line of scrimmage, the Giants' hype all summer long was arguably the best defensive line in football, and might be at a level of dominance we haven't seen in decades. And they got worked by the Skins. So I'm interested to see what's going to go on with the Dallas Giants game, and if the Giants defense solidifies. But it sounds like there's already trouble in the defensive line. If that's the case, I don't think we're going to see Russ cooking too long, because the defense was supposed to hold the Giants together. So I think we're going to see our boy from Ole Miss get in that lineup sooner rather than later. Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm sure you've all seen it, but that's a heck of a catch by Heath in the
heck of a catch.
Yeah.
I would one takeaway that I had, and I didn't get to watch the game because we were doing the live stream, doing a bunch of stuff for that. But if you looked at his stat line, Cam Ward's stat line didn't look very good. Like he started out somewhat well. I think he threw for like 60 yards in the first quarter or first even bit of the first half, and he only ended up with like 100 yards or something like that. I think 120 maybe. But I watched a lot of stuff on Twitter of the game and just his throws. That guy can sling the fucking rock. Dude.
Yeah.
Like he put the ball where it needed to be almost every time, dude. He had a lot of drops. I think they said that there was like 6 or 7 balls that guys dropped for him. So, I mean, that's obviously going to play into those numbers, but that dude can sling it. Now, what Tennessee has around him, I have no idea, but he could be a real gunslinger out there in Tennessee if they can piece it all around him.
I mean, if you remember a few weeks ago, I sort of compared him to Jameis Winston, right? I mean, he can throw the ball. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the knock on him, or at least a question mark on him, is his judgment sometimes. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, man, he's got the tools. There's no doubt about that.
Woo. Yeah, it was. You watch just his throws. They are just on the money, man. It's awesome. It's great for a Twitter video. I didn't watch the game, so it probably was brutal to watch.
You're going into the fire too. I mean, week 1, you're playing, arguably the best defense in football, if not, universally top 3. So,
yeah,
good for him. And listen, they got the Rams this week at home, so that'll be an interesting game. We'll see how the Rams play outside the dome. So, speaking of that, segue. What are we looking at for week 2? What storylines are we looking at? Give me 1, maybe 2.
Go ahead, Bubba.
I'll go first. Do the Dolphins show up? I mean, that coach is getting.
Well, they had a players only meeting, so
yeah,
wow, they ripped it in week 1.
Yeah,
wow, it's early.
Hey, where do you guys want to go drink after the game this week? After we get our asses kicked at home by the Pats?
Yeah, and I want to
know week 1's early for that.
I want to know who leaked the players only meeting too. Like
16 players.
Yeah, that's that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Do they show up? And then I think it's a battle of the young quarterbacks. I'm really, really leaning towards the Falcons to beat the Vikings on a short week. I could see it happening. I don't know why. McCarthy's mispracticed today. His wife's in labor. God bless him. He could easily win by 40 for the kid. But I think the Falcons are going to play them tough. And I'm looking forward to that game. So those two things. So the Dolphins show up and the Falcons reel. I mean, I think Penix is a great quarterback. I think he played his ass off. I think he took care of the football. I think he made some good passes too that were dropped or not, maybe not. They weren't looking when he threw the ball, maybe running bad routes, but he impressed me in his first start ever. So I'm excited to watch him the rest of the year.
And with those two, you got a little college championship game
rivalry.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Tyler, jump on Twitch and see if we've got that live stream on Twitch for the Dolphins player only meeting. Somebody might have posted it.
I'm sure somebody leaked it on Instagram Live or something.
What about you, Jeff? What are you looking for?
I mean, for me, I'm interested in the Steelers. Obviously, they offensively they looked really good last week. Defensively, they did not. Seattle's coming into Pittsburgh, so it'll be interesting to see if both those things follow through. I mean, hopefully the defense looks better than it did last week. Not so sure the offense is going to play as well as they did against the Jets. Seattle, I think, with a week of seeing what Pittsburgh's running, I think Seattle will be a little bit more prepared than the Jets were. But looking forward to that game. And Steelers jump out to a 2-0 start. I mean, they're in pretty good shape. They have a really tough schedule this year, though. So we'll see what happens. Ash.
Really, it's a parallel, right? The Chiefs and the Lions both 0-1. Are we flashing warning signs? Are we flashing regressions? Or did we play good teams and just didn't bring your A game, had some injuries, and trying to make adjustments? I think with the Lions, we talked about the play calling. Maybe the Packers defense is just that good. Washington's got a goose egg on the board right now. It was a hyped up defense going into the season, and the Lions have too many weapons to look as inept as they did. So really, really want to see what they put together. And then with the Chiefs, you're coming back from Brazil. You never know what's going to happen on those type of trips. You lose your number one receiver on a freak injury. The defense, while they were pretty solid against the run, the Chargers game plan for it. Is the pass defense that bad? Seems shocking that it was that bad, or did Herbert look that good?
Right.
So I want to see if it's more of you played really good teams and teams that are going to be playoff contenders and you just got caught, or is there maybe a little bit of a warning sign going 0-2 for both of these teams? So those are the stories I'm paying attention to.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yep. And I can tell you right out of the gate, I mean, we're doing that Chiefs-Eagles game. It's one of those, here we go again. Mahomes is a dog at home. I got to play it. And I'd rather just not play it at all and watch it, maybe play some player props and have some fun, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, keep in mind, he's down his top 2 receivers. So I mean, that's a factor, obviously. So
yeah, no doubt. So, all right, shifting gears, gun to the head, almost lock of the week. If you had to give it out last week, I think Jeff and I both gave Denver at -8, so that was a push. Bubba, I don't remember yours. Do you?
I took the Cardinals, and they did cover. They
did cover.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, go ahead, Ash. You can go first.
Bengals -3. Don't understand why it's -3 based on last week's results. I'm assuming Bengals couldn't get it done inside of the dog pound, laying 5.5. But again, it's a division rival. Week 1, who knows? Jags beat a bad, what looks to be a bad Carolina team. Even though I thought they'd be a little bit more solid this week. I'm sorry, this year. But again, weird game, much like the Cowboys-Eagles game. Almost a 90-minute lightning delay.
Yeah.
It was a close game going into that delay, and then they just didn't come out of the locker room. So I'm not high on the Jags, as you guys know. I think that Burrow and the offense clicks this week against the subpar defense. So I think you called it out, Bubba. Burrow like less than 150 yards last week. So I'd look for double that. I'd look for a big Jamar Chase game and a big Chase Brown game, and Blondie doing Blondie things. So I love the Bengals.
You guys know who's getting carted off here for the Washington?
I don't.
It's
Dietrich Wise,
91.
Yeah. Okay. For me, I'm actually sticking with Denver. -1.5, playing the Colts. I think the Colts had a huge offensive week last week, but I think things are going to look a little bit different playing that Broncos defense. So, that's not great.
Negro rolled up. Yeah.
Broncos defense going to give Danny Dimes fits, and I'm taking Denver -1.5.
Is that in Denver, Jeff?
No, it's at Indy. Yeah. So
okay. Well, Jay took mine, but I had a backup, so I really like the Bengals too. But I'm not going to.
You can take them.
But I do like another one just as much. I like the Chargers -3, same point spread against the Raiders. I think the Chargers have had a lot of time to rest, a lot of time to prepare. Could hurt them, but I'm going to go with it's going to help them. And I think that they are a really, really good football team, and I think that they win that game in Vegas by more than 3 points. So I'll take the Chargers -3.
All right. Okay. I like it. Dog of the week, money line plays. Must be a money line play. Who is the upset winner of the week?
There's not a lot here that I really liked, to be honest with you. But
I'll start off. I'll rip one. I can't believe it wasn't even a lock. It would be my lock and my upset of the week. It's the Bucks.
I'm right there.
Bucks
are plus money. Fun fact for you that I got from somebody from Barstool: the Bucks haven't lost in week 2 since 2016.
Yeah.
That's pre-COVID. That the Bucks haven't lost in week 2, so they're pretty much a dynasty in week 2. So hammer them. Houston didn't look like anything crazy.
And Houston's got 3 starters out. A tight end, I think the center's not playing, and I think one of their wideouts is not starting. So
don't understand the line. I really don't understand the line. I guess because the Texans are
move.
at home.
I think it's going to move.
Texans are at home, so you're just betting that. But like they lost, the Bucks won. The Bucks offense looks very good. I don't see how the Bucks don't win that game. So I don't understand that.
The Bucks may get Godwin and Wirfs back on Monday
night.
I'd
let them rest. Yeah. I think they can win that game without them.
I do too, but if they get them back and Houston's down on injuries, there's no way the Bucks don't win that game.
Yeah, but
maybe they know something I don't, but that seems crazy. That I thought it would be 2.5 the other way.
Yeah, not only is that line not going to move, Bubba, it opened at 1.5 and it's up a full point.
So I thought it opened at 3.
No, it opened at 1.5. So
Monday night I got it at 3.
It might get to 3, and you should be hammering the Bucks. I'm right in Tyler's.
I've already got it at 3. That's what I'm saying. Okay. I thought it opened at 3.
Yeah. No, it opened at 1.5 and it jumped up. So what's happening though is social media is throwing out the stat that Tyler talked about. So in the day and age we live in, with so many people, casual gamblers. It's hard to track the bet percentage and the money, right?
Yeah.
The old adage is fade the public, but the public, last year was actually the first time in the history of Vegas where I'm losing my train of thought.
The public won.
The public won, basically, right? So normally you fade it, but last year, because it's just the sheer volume, it kind of tilts those a little bit. So
the first 5 weeks of both NCAA and NFL, every single favorite covered. It was like ridiculous how many favorites were covered.
Yeah. So I've got the same dog, so I'll give it up to you guys.
Well, Bubba, are you taking Tampa too?
No, I'm not. I'm taking. I'm going to tell you right now, and I just talked about how shitty the Bears were, but I think the Bears beat the Lions. I think that Ben Johnson's coming back. He knows Dan Campbell's every move. He taught the OC that's there right now how to play call. I think he's going to be ready for them. I think the Bears. I know Caleb Williams did not play great, but I do think they have the upper hand coming this week. Goff did not look comfortable at all during the game. We watched the whole game together. He did not right at all, and I don't think he's going to figure it out. So,
all right,
Yeah, the Packers might be pretty good if you haven't been watching this Thursday night game, by the way. So
Yeah.
they are,
damn
but he still did not look very good. So I'm
Yeah,
going to take the Bears at plus 225.
Yeah, at this moment, Jaden Daniels has 20 yards in this game. We're about to be in the second half.
Just to wrap up this segment, I'll go with the Jets plus 250. Division matchup. Jets did look pretty good last week. Like I said, I don't really love any of these underdogs this week. You guys make a good case for Tampa, but if I had to throw some money on one of them, I'd probably go with the Jets. So there you go.
I like that. The Bills look vulnerable for sure. They rallied to win that game. It was a sick game, by the way. But we've seen the Jets win sillier games. So
Browns would be an interesting one. The Browns kept the Bengals game close. Obviously, the Bengals and the Ravens are maybe a little different team. They're plus 500. Obviously, got to go on the road. Maybe just throw a flyer out there if you got a bonus bet or something like that. Who knows?
Doesn't seem like the Ravens are going to be out for blood though after what happened last week.
Yeah, they're minus 11.5. That's a lot of points in the NFL.
Yeah,
sure is. Yeah. All right. Last category: the stay away from the week. Prove that you have a gambling problem. You're going to play a game that you shouldn't. What game should you not bet on this week?
I'll start. Niners Saints. Don't touch that game. Do not touch the game. They're talking about Purdy being out.
Purdy's out. 5 weeks almost.
The immediate thought, right, when he's out is that the Saints are going to somehow win the game, right? But then you think Mac Jones, not the best, not the worst. They could still win by 2 touchdowns. I just don't stay away from that game. But by all means, in my opinion,
I'm gonna pick the game that we're gonna be doing on Sunday. I'll probably have a bunch of money on some player props and stuff, but that Kansas City Eagles game, I don't really have a feel for it one way or the other, so I'd stay away from that one.
Yeah, I hate to be redundant and take the easy way out, but the Niners it's too glaring to ignore. You know what I mean? Just like you said, Bubba, I think there's a little bit of, man, can the Saints do this? And the answer is probably not, because the offense is not that great. Niners have a tough defense, but boy, Mac Jones, he is very capable of giving a game away. So yes. I would just stay away, especially with a 3 years. It opened at 7 with Purdy, and it's down to 3.
Right, but we've seen Shanahan win with garbage quarterbacks before. I mean, he'll have a very short leash on what he's going to allow him to do.
Yeah, I'm right.
One I'd probably stay away from: Panthers Cardinals. 7.5 is a lot of points. I know the Panthers didn't look good at all, but
that's a trap. Yeah.
The Cardinals aren't that great either. So that's just kind of a weird game. I'd kind of just stay away from that one. It's going to be bad quarterback play. Probably at least one of them will play bad. Which one that is, I don't know, but one of them will play poorly. Probably not a fun game to watch 4:00 on CBS.
And we accidentally skipped you for the lock of the week, but I think you said you think it's Tampa,
Bucks.
right?
Yeah, I think the Bucks are my dog lock, whatever you want to call it. They're hammer it.
Yeah, Cardinals in a survivor play maybe, but definitely not fooling around with that point spread. All right, man, we're running long. I like it. So we're out of the NFL. We got 14-0 right now. Packers dominating, but the Skins are on the move. Let's talk a little bit of boxing. We got a big fight. Canelo v. Alvarez. We got a mainstay in Canelo fighting a guy who's undefeated, who's a potential, not potential, he's a boxing Hall of Famer, moving up in weight, which we've seen people later in their career do, and it doesn't always look good. But we're going to throw it over to our boxing insider here, Jeff. Hi, Jeff. Welcome to the program.
Hey, glad to be here. So this is going to be very interesting. You got 2 of the fighters of their generation going at it, right? Wish they were a few years younger, but I still think it's going to be a really good fight. Canelo's 35. He just turned 35 in July. Bud is effectively 38. I mean, he's 37, but he turns 38 in 2 weeks. So You got 3 years there difference in age. That said, Bud is older, but he's had fewer fights. He's 41-0. He's taken a lot less punishment because of the way he fights. He's not somebody who generally takes a lot of punches. And, Canelo, this is going to be his 68th fight, and he has been in some wars, right? So that might even out the age thing a little bit. At Allegiant Field in Vegas, there's going to be over 60,000 fans there. Jay, like you said, Bud's moving up 2 weight classes.
Yeah.
His last fight, which was basically a year ago, he fought at 154. So he's going up to 168. And the thing is, though, is that 154 fight was the only time he ever fought at that weight. He's generally fought at 147. So, he's really going up 21 pounds here for this fight. I don't know if you guys have seen pictures or video of him. He looks like a beast. He looks really good.
Yeah, looks like a bodybuilder.
Yeah. Tail of the tape. They're about the same height. I think Crawford's actually a half-inch taller. Bigger thing, though, is Crawford's got a 3.5-inch reach advantage, which might be huge, right? So, I'll give you my final thoughts here in a second, but Bubba or Ash, you guys have any thoughts on the fight?
Bubba?
Crawford's undefeated, right?
Yeah.
He is.
41-0.
Canelo's I'm with you, Jeff. I don't know who you're taking, but I think Crawford's going to beat him. The reach, he looks good. I saw a video of him today. I don't know if it was from today, it may have been from a previous training session, but I don't know. In Vegas, Canelo, I'm going to go with Crawford. I like Crawford. I think he's plus money, no?
He is. It depends.
Plus 135 here. So I like Crawford to win. I don't think it'll be a knockout. I don't think you're going to see a knockout at all. I think they're going to go all 12 rounds. That's my take on it.
Yeah, so real quick, more money is going on Canelo, but more actual bets is going on Crawford, and that's sort of kept the line lower than people thought it was going to be, or I should say closer than people thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
Ash,
it's not surprising with the bets, the number of bets, because everything you just laid out. I don't know if the general public knows that, but if you keep a half an eye on boxing, you're aware of it. If you are a boxing enthusiast, even if you are just listening to podcasts that are talking about it this week. That's the general theme, right? Going up 2 weight classes is typically dangerous. Canelo has only lost to some of the greats. It's not like he loses to nobodies. He's fought all the wars, the Triple G wars. He's fought Mayweather. He's fought Pacquiao. He's fought them all, right? If I was gonna bet it, and I might, you never know. I have a tendency to do things like that last minute, but I would only take Alvarez because he's plus money. And to your point, there's a lot of wear and tear on Canelo, but the way Canelo fights also, like, it's going to be a boring first 2 rounds. Like, Canelo's not going to do much in the first round, and we'll see how Alvarez comes out and how aggressive he is, because that man,
Crawford. You mean
Crawford? I'm sorry,
yeah.
Crawford. I'm sorry. When he wants to turn it on and he's angry, he's got the power. So let's see if the power translates 2 weight classes up. I'm with Bubba. I think it's going to be a decision one way or another, which I don't know how the judges are going to weigh this, because it's 2 champions, it's 2 all-time greats. So it's not like you've got to really take it from them. Right. It's not a situation where it's a close fight.
Gotta beat the champ. Yeah,
you got to beat the champ. So we're just going to give the belt back to Canelo. I think this is it's like the Triple G fights with Canelo, right? I think it's going to be one of those decisions where you're going to walk away and half the people are going to be like, I don't like the decision.
Yeah.
That's where I'm coming out on it. So I know it's a little non-committal, but if I had to put money on it, I'd take Crawford just because he's a dog.
Okay, so we've touched on the weight gain for Crawford, and that's obviously the single biggest question for the fight, in my opinion. Can he carry that weight and still do the things that makes him great? I'm going to say yes. I think he's going to get it done. Canelo doesn't throw nearly as many punches as he did when he was younger. He still has great power, and he loves throwing he's got a heavy left that he throws to the body that's put a few guys down. And he's also very accurate with his punches, but knockdowns, from Canelo sort of come out of nowhere, right? Because he just hits the guy right in the button. But but Crawford has the reach, as I mentioned earlier. He's definitely got the quicker feet, and I just think Crawford does his usual thing when it comes to playing with and creating angles, which will limit the amount of damage that Canelo can do to him. And I think Bud wins the decision. So I will be throwing some money on that. And I definitely look forward to watching it on Netflix. I'm glad it's free. And like I said, there's going to be a lot of fans there. Should be a pretty crazy atmosphere, and I'm looking forward to it. Producer Tyler, any thoughts?
Not a huge boxing guy. I like Canelo because me and him have a red beard. So I'll take Canelo. That's my analysis.
How about
Good
that?
stuff.
All right. It is time for bragging rights. Let's knock it out.
All right, fellas.
This one bumps me out. So.
Yeah, we'll just lead off with you, Jeff, if you want to go over yours.
So I had Tampa Bay given 2 points. They covered. I had Aaron Rodgers throwing at least 2 touchdowns, which he did. I had the over in that Steelers-Jets game, which came in very easily. The team that killed me was I had the Texans on the money line, and they just completely shit the bed offensively. They did nothing on offense in that game. So I went 3-1, but that's a big goose egg. So
yeah, tough. To only put up 9 points. It hurts.
Yep.
Jay, we got yours. I think right off rip.
Speaking of hurts. It doesn't hurt so good. 1-3. Bad push. So actually, 3-1. Not good. Moving on.
And then Bubba.
I had the
Buccaneers. Cowboys, Dolphins, Bucks, Panthers. Panthers lost for you, and the Dolphins.
Yep, the Panthers and Dolphins both screwed me, but I hit big on the first game Thursday night. Cowboys +8. I thought I was in good shape, and then the Dolphins shit the bed, and like you just
they were awful in that game, weren't they?
Atrocious.
They were brutal.
That was my stay away game, if I remember correctly.
That was your stay away game.
Yeah.
Colts look sneaky good. I mean, the Dolphins might be a dumpster fire, but the Colts did look good.
Danny Dimes.
Yes,
A lot
sir.
of playmakers.
All right, we got turn the page from last week. We got this week coming up. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of NFL again. Jeff, why don't you lead us off?
All right, so I have this game that we're watching right now. I got the Packers -3.5. Right now, that's looking pretty good. I got Denver, as I said earlier. It's my quasi lock of the week. I got them giving 1.5 to the Colts. I did throw the Eagles Chiefs in here, even though I said it was stay away. But I got the Chiefs +1. I just think they just need to win the game. So I'm put my faith in Reed and Mahomes and think they figure it out. And as a Steelers fan, I'm going to show a little faith in the team, and I got them -2.5. So 25 brings back 303.
There you go.
Very nice. Very nice. Jay, you want to go to yours? And you got something on the line tonight.
Yeah, much like the Bucks, I'm a week 2 player. Haven't lost in week 2 since 2015. I've got to one up the Bucks somewhere. But yeah, I've got a little action tonight with Tucker Kraft anytime touchdown. I actually have that straight up outside of this too. I think he's already close to 100 yards. So, I mean, I wish he got in the end zone, but we got time. Number 9, Illinois, laying 27.5. Western Michigan, no confidence in him. And I just think Illinois is that good this year. You saw him turn it up against Duke, and I think they come out swinging this game and they roll start to finish. I've got my lock of the week in there, gun to the head lock of the week with the Bengals -3. And then I've got Chris Boswell over 1.5 field goals for Jeff Steelers. I just think game script at home.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle's defense is tough. Rodgers moves the ball, whether he throws 4 touchdown passes again. Boswell always seems to kick a long field goal to end halves. So I think that might even be in by halftime in this one. So
yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that whole ticket actually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very nice.
I took time curating it. It was 25 pays, 455 at a little over 17-1.
There you go.
There you go.
All righty, and then Bubba's sweating one out here with NC State on top of his
Sweating one
card.
out, man. Down by 7.5, but I just looked at the live line, and they are still a favorite to win this game. So I just need them to win. Money line. I like Arizona to beat up on K-State. I've watched K-State play 2 games. They're not a good football team. Arizona's 2-0. Spread's 1.5. I took them on the money line plus 100, and then I do think that Clemson, number 12 in the nation, shaky start. I think they figure it out and beat Georgia Tech. I took them on the money line. I don't trust the spread at all. I think they can win by a field goal, and I think that spread is like 3.5 or maybe 5.5. I forget what I saw.
I think it was around 3.5 or something like that.
And then I do like Texas A&M to go into South Bend and cover that spread at 6.5. So I like the coach. 25 pays 230, 140. I need NC State to figure it out tonight, and then I'm off to the races.
All right, so if we all win, if we go 12-0, Ashton will be the winner. He's got the biggest odds there. So
I like that.
Wouldn't that
There
be
you go.
something?
I wish everybody luck and hope bragging rights hits for everybody. we need at least one. Let's get something going here.
Yeah.
We need something.
Yeah, week 2. It's our week. It's our week. So, all right. Well, that's going to wrap up the show.
Hey, we should mention 9/11, right? Always remember, folks. Always remember. So
Yeah.
Yep. No doubt about that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully everybody remembers the theme of coming together too. Yesterday's events were no good for anybody, and it's a dangerous trend. So this isn't the show or the platform for it, but it's a good shout out, Jeff, and we wish everybody love and support. Thinking about 9/11. Yeah. So.
Absolutely.
All right. So,
all right, guys.
all right, let's get ready to wrap things up. Live show Sunday. Be there. All right. You can find us on YouTube. Come to our channel, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Stay around for the chaos and the action. It's going to be a lot of fun. Same thing on Twitter. Check us out on the Discord. Great way to get a hold of us. Follow us on all the socials at Casual Chaos Live. So we're looking forward to it. Going to be bigger and better than ever. Stealing that tagline just for this week only because it is week 2 and we're really looking forward to it. So please.
We're also undefeated in week 2. So
that's true. So come check us out. Other than that, it's been a great pod. Enjoyed it. Big thanks to One Buck Ant. Thanks always to producer Tyler. We'll catch everybody Sunday and then again, same time next week.
All right. Bye, everybody.
see ya.
All right. Hi, everyone. This is Jay Ash, one of the hosts of the Casual Chaos podcast you are about to listen to discusses gambling and wagering on sporting events. Please be advised the gambling and sports wagering content during this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute financial or gambling advice. Sports wagering involves significant risk. If you choose to gamble, please do so responsibly and only gamble with funds that you can comfortably afford to lose. All opinions, wagering tickets discussed or implied wagers on the Casual Chaos podcast are not guarantees to result in financial gain. You must be 21 years or older or of legal gambling age in your jurisdiction to participate in sports wagering. Please verify the gambling and sports wagering laws and regulations within your jurisdiction prior to placing bets. Listeners are solely responsible for their own wagering decisions and outcomes. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call or text the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537. We encourage everyone to engage with sports betting responsibly. The host and the Casual Cast podcast assume no liability for any losses incurred as a result of listening to this content.